First, you need to design your PCB. I'll put links in the description for more details. Print the copper layer and the text layer separately on a magazine paper, and note that you have to use a laser printer. Absolutely nothing else will work. Obtain a copper coated plastic sheet and clean it thoroughly with nail polish remover or thinner. Pour a little bit on the copper and use a scrubbing pad. This will make the toner stick to the sheet much better. Do not apply too much pressure or you might damage the copper. Finally, use a paper towel to dry the copper. To, After cleaning, simply cut it using a hacksaw blade and file the edges using a filer. To transfer the toner, simply lay down your sheet on the copper side and apply pressure through an iron. Do this for 4 to 5 minutes. Do not use sideways motions. Just let the iron sit on the board. Apply as much pressure as you can. Even you can use both your hands, but just remain inside the breaking limits of the iron handle. Use a pair of pliers to pick the board as it will be really very hot. Drop it in a bowl of water. Now, gently brush the paper with your fingers like the way I am going to show. In some time, it will come off very easily. Just gently tap the paper at places and it will peel off. If you did everything right, this is what it should look like after drying. Alright, it's time to remove the unwanted exposed copper. This process is called etching. Use a glass container which is already very dirty because the falling process will make it even dirtier. The solution you are going to make can stain anything. Yes, anything. So avoid contact with your skin. Pour enough water just to completely submerge your board. Next, add a spoonful of ferric chloride powder. The appropriate concentration is approximately 1 spoonful per 100 ml of water. Use powder from the lower layers as this stuff is highly deliquescent. The top layers absorb a lot of water. For the same reason, replace the cap as soon as you can. Stir the mixture well to obtain a homogeneous solution. Drop the circuit board inside. Now, you need to ensure proper and constant stirring so that fresh FeCl3 reaches the surface of the board. This is how you should stir, rocking the board back and forth. In about 10 to 15 minutes, you will observe that the copper is starting to erode and it will reveal plastic from behind, as you can see. The toner, however, protects the copper behind it. Once you see this, it will take no more than 5 minutes after this. A few minutes and some more stirring later, you will find all the copper gone. This is what the board will look like then. At this stage, the etching is done. You can drain all the solution and pour fresh water on the board so that any remaining FeCl3 can be thrown away. Your board will look like this now. Now you need to remove the toner because its job is done. Take some nail polish remover on a tissue paper or a swab of cotton and rub the surface to remove the toner. Make sure you cap the bottle after use because it's volatile and it will be gone in no time. The nail polish remover that you use must contain acetone because there are some in the market that are non-acetone based. Technically, you can use pure acetone as well, but I think it would be an overkill. This is what the board will look like. At this stage, you are ready to drill the holes. You can use a drill bit with 0.8 mm or 1 mm diameter for through hole parts. I am using a really inexpensive but primitive hand drill. You are welcome to use a drilling machine if you want. Just get your bit sizes right. be a little patient while drilling because one messed up drill can wreck your whole board. Oh, and I forgot to show you how to use this hand drill. This is how it's done. The next step that I will show is completely optional. All it does is it helps you to remember what goes where. This is a print of the text layer on a magazine paper, and notice that I have mirrored it horizontally because it's going to be mirrored again as well. You have to transfer this layer on the top side of the PCB by the ironing method. Just repeat the steps that I showed to you earlier. If it does not turn out well, you always have the option of removing it with nail polish remover or thinner. As you can see, this one did not turn out quite well. We have all these misaligned things everywhere. But I chose to let it be. At this stage, you are technically done with your board. But what is a board without its components? So let's solder all the components in place. All I can say is watch your fingers very carefully because the tip of this iron is hot enough to melt this wire of tin and lead. So it can easily burn your fingers. The temperature can reach 400 degrees Celsius. Also, please excuse my head which keeps popping in the way. You can use an eraser to support your board while you are soldering because it will sink all the heat and it will not allow the parts to get overheated. Alright, we are done now. This is what our finished product looks like. This is the top view and notice that the text got inverted to the right orientation. This is the copper side. So go ahead and show us your creative skills.